Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of Lucas Nation and KLP Worldwide. Welcome back to another episode of Late Show with KLP, live here from our YouTube channel here at KLP Entertainment. And before we get on to our show, of course, we got to do our sponsorships for sure. Today's sponsorship goes out to Asus Boom. That is one company that I'm very proud to be partnered up with. Of course, what they are is they are a headphone company. All you have to do is go to our e-store, that is the KLP e-store, at our website at www.lucas904.wings.com/KLPE. Of course, we'll have it in our link description for sure. Click the link, click the tab of KLP e-store. You'll have a link for Asus Boom Audio. Click that, and of course, be sure to use our promo code. We have our promo code on our KLP e-store. Click that promo code so that way you can get 60% discount off your next order with headphones or earphones. Really is amazing. I have a pair of those in the studio here at Swanky Studios for when we do our editing, so I really recommend you guys doing that out there for sure. So let's get on to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. And we're also streaming our stuff on Facebook. So I don't know if many people know about it, but we have our stuff on Facebook. And we're thinking about putting more of our content for our audio, which is Spotify, our heart, iTunes. You know, we're trying to get it out there, get it everywhere. So today we're here to talk about a certain topic. And Lucas Nation fans, KLP Worldwide fans, I know I am a little late talking about this topic, but I wanted to talk about this topic. I know I've been doing so much podcasting. We've been filming our films, of course, Dark Matter, that'll be coming out in April. And if you guys didn't see it yet, we're in the movie mood today in this show. We're also producing our Swanky Vision division. We're going to be producing a new movie, of course. It's from a video game. It's called Starlink Battle of Atlas, but our movie will be called Starlink The Chronicles of Atlas. What it is, of course, we're remaking that, and we're adding some things to it, and we're adding a twist to it. So I can't wait for that movie to get started. We're going to start filming that in spring break. March 1st is when we're going to start filming that movie. And that whole week, we're going to be in production for that. And, of course, we're going to be making our Justice League movie within that same week. So it's a week of movie making here at KLP Entertainment. I'm so proud of it. I'm so happy, and I can't wait for you guys to see both those movies, well, all three of the movies, actually. Dark Matter, that comes out in April. And then for the summertime, you got our Justice League movie. And I didn't really announce Starlink's movie yet, but stay tuned for that. So we're in the movie mood today, y'all. We're going to talk about it for sure. Of course, we're going to talk about the Oscars. I have some good things to talk about, and then I have some depressing things that I brought to my brother. We talked about this last night. Me and my brother went out to dinner, and we talked about it. Let's get on with the good stuff. Of course, Joaquin Phoenix, he played Joker. He won an Oscar for Best Actor. I knew he was going to get it. I knew he was going to get it because that movie, when he played Joker, and I talked about that in many shows before, you know, I knew he was going to get an Oscar for that because he really did a tremendous job on that, and that movie really sold. So I just knew he was going to win that. Of course, Parasite wins Best Picture from Bong Joon-ho. He is the director of the movie Parasite. Best Picture, so that tells me that, you know, anything can happen, you know. I was kind of rooting for Best Picture. I was kind of rooting for either The Irishman or the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I was leaning more towards Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I saw that movie about 5 times already. But it was really cool to see that Parasite won Best Picture. And I'm like, whoa, okay, like that's different because I mean, like, I'm not saying that Parasite wasn't a good movie or no one heard of the movie because this movie sold, but I was just kind of leaning towards the movies that I'm familiar with when it came to the actors or the director. So it really shows you that you can't be so skeptical if you have a famous director like Quentin Tarantino or Martin Scorsese that won Oscars before, you can't really say, okay, that's them because we know them because they're popular here in America. This is a Korean movie, and it won an Oscar here in the States. So making history is what it is. So that's all it is they made history. Brad Pitt won Best Supporting Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All right, let's go and get to the bad stuff with this. It's not bad. It's not terrible, and hopefully, if Brad Pitt is watching our show here, I would love to work with you one day, Brad Pitt. But you kind of make me upset a little bit when you start talking about Trump. Now, in our show, we're not going to talk so much about politics, but I'm going to talk about it here on today's show because I feel I feel a little bit hurt a little bit, and I talked about it in my classes, and I talked about it with my brother, and they make valid points. It is a freedom of speech. People have the right to say whatever the hell they want to say about Trump or about his impeachment or about the White House. Anyone can say anything they want to say because it's freedom of speech. The one reason why I got upset that night, and then I presented it in class, because in class we like to talk about current events. I got really upset because the Oscars is not about politics. I really, really hate it when award shows bring politics in within their craft. No one cares about what's going on with politics when they're watching the Oscars. When I'm watching the Oscars, I'm wondering who will win the Oscars? Who had the best soundtrack? Who is the best director of the year? That's what I'm worried about when it comes to that. Now, when I go, and I'm a believer, and I'm a true believer, when I win my Oscars one day, when, and I say when, not if, when I win my Oscars one day, and I'm on that stage, and I'm talking about thanking my family, my friends, my crew, my directors, my producers, my investors, that's who I'm thinking about. I don't want to spend my Oscar speech talking about what's going on in the world, or talking about Trump's impeachment, or talk about our president. I do not talk about that stuff when I win my Oscar. I'm talking about me. So it kind of makes me mad when shows turn to politics because no one cares. Like, we care, but we don't care that night. We care about the Oscars. We care about who's winning. We care about the movies that's coming out. We care about what you're working on next. We're caring about the thought process of you being the best supporting actor. We're not talking about Trump. And Brad Pitt's not the only one. Joaquin Phoenix, he didn't bash Trump a little bit, but he kind of hinted towards that, what's going on in the world. Dude, you won Best Actor. Talk about your accomplishments. Talk about your family. Talk about your directors. Talk about the people that gave you a shot in this movie. That's what I think people should talk about when it comes to the award shows. The Oscars is no prone to this. The Oscars is not the only show that did this. They did this with the Grammys. They did this to the BET Awards. They did it to the Soul Train Awards. They even talked about it in the Emmys. Like, no one cares about it that night. It's about you guys. It's about the actors. It's about the talent. Not what president's doing. Not the impeachment trial. That's not what we're talking about. So, my professor and my brother made good statements. They say, hey, freedom of speech. They agree with me, but freedom of speech, this is going to be going on for the longest time. When it hits 2021, when we have a new president, hopefully new president in office, then it's going to keep going. Politics are going to keep going. It just sucks, and it really does suck for that. You got Renee Zellweger. She won Best Actress in the movie Judy. That must have been like an independent kind of film, because I haven't heard that movie before, but I will watch it. And then you got Laura Dern. She played in Marriage Story, the Best Supporting Actress. Bong Joon-ho won Best Director. So he won two. Best Director and Best Picture from Parasite. Again, diversity. They really brought out the diversity-ness in this for today, because for the show, because, I never heard of him before, but now I know. Best Original Music Score by Hadir Gutentire. Hopefully I didn't butcher her last name. She won for Joker. She was one of the score composers for that. Best Animated Feature, Toy Story 4, which I knew they were going to win. How to Train Your Dragon was an okay movie, but I watched Toy Story 4. It was very impactful, and I kind of got emotional in some scenes, so I knew they were going to win Best Animated Feature. Best Foreign Language Film, Parasite. Third Oscar they won. Get this. Best original screenplay from Han Jung-woo and Bon Joon-ho, Parasite. That's their fourth Oscar they won. American Factory, best documentary film from Juliette Richard, and of course, they also presented Oscars to Barack and Michelle Obama because they were the executive producers for that documentary film, American Factory. So they also won an Oscar. So you got Tika Waititi, best adapted screenplay from movie Jojo Rabbit. I haven't seen that movie yet, but I would love to. Best cinematography goes out to Roger Deakins. Now, this part I really like because not only that I'm a director and producer, I started filming movies from the videography and the cinematography standpoint. And the thing is, I'm glad this year that they didn't just say, okay, that's the guy that ran the camera. Cinematography goes a long, long way when it comes to making a movie. When I got my start in the film industry, I started as a videographer. I did a whole wide range of videos for not only for Grizzly Digital Network with GGC, but I've also did a lot of videography outside of KLP Entertainment as well. So I really got my start with videography. So this category was very important to me because that's where I started. I'm more of a cinematography, videography kind of person. I like running the cameras. I like using camera techniques and skills to accommodate within the film or the short film that we make. So that's kind of where I got my start. So I really applaud Roger Deakins for winning, of course, for his movie. I believe it was 1917. But that's kind of where I got my start too. So I'm very proud of that. You got Stuart Wilson. He won an Oscar for Best Sound Mixing in 1917. And also Mark Taylor. He was also Best Sound Mixing in 1917. The movie 1971's for Best Visual Effects. Really, really cool. Jacqueline Durham for Best Costume Design in Little Women. You got Nancy High, the production designer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, along with Barbara Lang, Best Production Design. Production design is very, very important within the movie. You have to have the idea and the creativeness to work that kind of job because it's production design. You have to have a creative mind. This one I'm very proud of course. M.A. Cherry and and they won't give me the full name. Karen, hold on. Matthew A. Cherry, sorry. Karen Ripper Tolliver. They won an Oscar for Hair Love. That is a short film. Let me tell you why I'm proud of Hair Love because there's two reasons why I'm proud of Hair Love. I'm proud of Hair Love because it's black excellence. Sorry. Black excellence. Winning an Oscar. Number two, short film. As many people know, here at K.L.P. Entertainment, we specialize in making short films. So, it goes to show you that even though we haven't won an Oscar yet, we won awards before with K.L.P. Entertainment, but we haven't won an Oscar. I really am hopeful for us to get out there in the Oscar world to win Best Short Film for one of our movies one day for short films because even short films could win an Oscar. Hair Love, they're from the Bronze Lens Academy, if I'm not mistaken. That's headquarters here in Atlanta, which I do know about. So it's fantastic. They won Hair Love. Let's see. You've got Neighbor's Widow for live action short film. Marsha Curry. Haven't heard that movie before, but I will watch it. Best film editing. This is crucial. These are the people that stay up for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours making sure this movie is right. Andrew Buckland and Matthew McCusker from Ford versus Ferrari. Hours and hours. And trust me, I'm an editor too. I edit my movies. Hours and hours and hours and hours. Best makeup hairstyling for a Bombshell. Kojuru Tukshu, if I didn't pronounce the name wrong. Anna Morgan and Vivian Baker. Best sound editing, Donald Sylvester, Ford versus Ferrari. And best short documentary, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone. It's amazing. So that was the Oscars this past February 9th, this past Sunday, the 97 Academy Awards. I am so humbled and I'm so proud of the winners. I can tell the Oscars, they really wanted to add a little diversity to it, and they did it. Kudos. I'm proud. I'm so humbled, and I could not been so happy about directors and sound editors and editors and producers and cinematographers coming together to make something magical. It really is amazing, for sure. So that's going to do it on today's show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel if you are new to our channel. And please, 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 please be sure to follow all of our social media accounts out there on our link description below and out there on the world, letting you guys know about our next project or our next film shoot that we're doing. So I'm waiting on another set right now. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show. Have a fantastic day. Let me know, comment below what you think of the Oscars. Comment below. We want to hear from you guys, your opinions about the Oscars. Do you think it was a winner? Do you think it sucked? Do you think it was okay? Tell us about it. We want to hear from you guys out there. So that was Up Late Show with K.L.P. I'm Kennedy Lucas, K.L.P. of course. Have a great night, and see you guys in the next video.